Hey guys, it's Ash. Today I want to talk about something that's happening a lot, to teens around the globe. Well, I wouldn't say the globe, but mostly in the USA. Your parents saying no to piercings, how to convince your parents to let you get a piercing. Okay, first things first, I just want to let you guys know this, that you're not alone in this, and don't feel like you're alone with all this, that your parents are just strict and they're mean. They're mostly doing this because they care about you, and they care about your life and what you're going to be when you're older and everything like that. So don't think that you have the strictest parents in the world and they don't trust you or anything. It's mostly because they just care about you. It's all love here. It's really weird love, but it's love. Okay, so next thing I want to point out, there's a few things I want to point out. Think about where you're going to be when you grow up. Just think. Um if you're going to be a doctor, if you plan to be a doctor, or you plan to be a person who takes care of little kids or helps people with disabilities, or you work in a mental hospital, or you're a scientist. If you get a piercing in your face or multiple piercings, you're most likely not going to get hired to be any of those professions that you want to be, and you're going to be sad. So I just want to point that out. Just think about where you're going to be in your life, because it's the cold hard truth. A lot of people discriminate in this world. They look at the looks before they think about the personality or how good you work. It's Everyone judges on looks. I even judge on looks, I have to say, sometimes. I mean, I mostly judge on personality, but I have to admit, even I sometimes judge on people's looks before I even get to know their personalities. Just remember, if you can't take not people taunting you or giving you weird looks, or like people like judging you because you have something, you have a piece of metal in your face, then maybe getting a piercing isn't right for you. I'm just telling you to keep that in mind, because this is a big decision you're making. It's going to be in there forever, and you should really think about this before you even start trying to convince your parents to let you get a piercing, period. So basically, if you thought this over and now you're thinking, oh yeah, well I really want to be so and so deals with kids, yada yada yada, then maybe you should wait until you're 18. Another reason why you should wait till 18 is because if you're a teen like me, you're most likely going to change your mind when you're older. Because I know when I was little, I used to want to be, I forget what I want to be. I wanted to be a mermaid. Okay, I admit it. I want to be a mermaid, and now that thought, I'm just like, what the heck was wrong with me? But seriously, teens change their mind a lot, and yes, you're going to make mistakes. But this mistake. If you make it, if you get this, and then when you're 18 you don't like it anymore, that's a huge mistake you just made, and it's most likely not going to go away. Yes, it might leave a little scar, a little hole, but it's most like it's most likely you're not going to like it, and you're just going to be really sad, and it's just going to be there for the rest of your life. So try to wait until you're 18. But if you're stubborn as heck, like me right here, and you still, no matter, even though I just went through all these, you still want a piercing, and you don't care what the damn consequences are, then here are ways to convince your parents. Okay, first things first. If you want a piercing, you have to be very mature with your parents. You can't just go, Mom, please? Mom, I really want it. Mom, please? Yeah, that shit doesn't go down in my house. Like I said, this is a big decision you're making, and if you're gonna be immature about it, then your parents are probably gonna be like, they're not taking this situation seriously, and they won't take you seriously, and they'll just keep saying no. It's a basic fact. You have to prove that you're mature and you're responsible with this whole situation. Another thing, think about the piercing you want to get. Just don't make it the last decision what piercing you want. Because I remember a few months ago I wanted a nose piercing, and now I don't even want a nose piercing anymore. I want snake bites, like really, really bad. So just think about the piercing you want and do your research on it. Your parents are going to be probably asking you a million questions, and you're going to have to give them a million answers. And if you don't know your research on it, then your parents are going to think, oh, they don't know much about this, and they're not going to let you make this big decision that you're making. So do your research on the piercing you want. And it's very dangerous sometimes to get a piercing. If the piercer doesn't do it right, you could die from a piercing. But you can basically die from anything in the world if you don't do it right. So please, please, please do your research on this. This is a very important thing that you're doing. Also, tell your parents what the piercing means to you. Don't just say, they're probably just gonna think, oh, they just want it because it looks cool or anything. If you just want it because it looks cool, then newsflash for you, you're probably gonna be very disappointed when you're older, because coolness and popularity definitely does not last forever in the world. And when you get to college, the coolness and popularity doesn't mean shit. It might mean it in high school and middle school or whatever school you're in, one of those, then you're just going to be very mad at yourself for doing something just because you want popularity. So remember, don't just get a piercing because it's cool. Do it because you really want it and something that you're going to be dedicated to. Okay. Also, make a list of the pros and cons of the piercing. If um if you're getting a tongue piercing, you might want to mention to your parents that there's more of a risk of getting infection. But at the same time, you could say, I'll take care of it every day. I'll do this to make sure it doesn't get infection. If I see any signs of infection, I'll let you know. Like I said, show your parents that you're responsible. If you're not responsible, then they're most likely not going to let you get the piercing. Take time with your parents. Like I said, I use slideshows when I want to get something from my parents. I make a whole slideshow, and most likely they see how mature and responsible I am, and they think about it. If your parents say let me think about it, let them think about it. Don't bother them the next day about it. Wait a few weeks and then be like, "So mom," if they haven't told you the decision yet, be like, "So mom slash dad or guardian or whatever your parental guardian, be like, have you thought about the piercing that I wanted? Have you thought if it's a good situation? I really want it. It's really important to me. Can I get it?" If they say yes, woohoo for you. Awesome, that is great. If your parents say no, then maybe try again in a few months. Be like, "Mom, I still want this piercing," and then tell them all the stuff over again. Because like I said, teenagers change their minds a lot, like all the time. It's just a fact of life. Maybe the next week you decide, "Oh, I actually don't want this after all." Just think about all these things before you try to convince them, okay? That's basically all I'm saying. Okay. And if your parents still say no, it's best just to wait. Don't keep bothering about them because it's most likely they're just going to be like, "Okay, you're annoying me too much and now you're not going to get it at all." Because I know that's what happens to me. If I bother my parents too much about something, then they're going to be like, "No, you can't get it at all now. You're just bugging me too much about it." Just wait. Time heals everything. And if you seriously still don't want to wait, tell them about fake piercings. There are fake piercings in the world. There are videos on YouTube and everything on how to get fake piercings. And fake piercings are cool, and if you really like that piercing and you wear the piercing a lot, maybe your parents see that you wear it a lot, they see that you really want it, maybe they will actually let you get it. You know, this the mature responsibility thing doesn't work for a lot of people, a lot of parents, because all parents are different. It really depends. If your parents are very religious, then you shouldn't even bother trying because they're most likely just going to say no no matter what you say. But hey, you know your parents better than I do. So basically all I'm saying is just all that. If you really want it, be mature. Think about it. It's it's going to be there forever. And if your parents won't budge, just wait. I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.